So what happens when you and your partner are interested in the same person and they start flirting with them first, beating you to the punch? This is Cathy from the intimacydojo.com.
And Reid from readaboutsex.com.
What do you do, Cathy? Just punch him? You'd be like, I saw that person first.
I start a rumor that they have some venereal disease.
Whoa! That's horrible!
I wouldn't really do
That's
that.
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. And punching too. Don't get violent.
Yeah.
Don't flirt angry.
I'm someone who has I love to be included, so if I was interested in them too, I would probably ask to be included.
Like a kick in the shin? Something subtle?
I'd be like, dude, introduce me.
That's pretty, actually, that would work really well. Or just walk by and just spill a glass of wine or something on them. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi.
Totally like shove them out of the way.
That would totally work. That's awesome. Let's do that. But that, joking aside, that sounds like you're at least having fun.
Yeah.
Letting them know what's going on.
Yeah. Kind of like...
Now, if you're in an open relationship or a relationship where flirting with other people is actually, you all talked about it and it's totally cool, then I think the play here is to make it playful and to include that other person in what's going on for both of you. Because unless you're totally creepy, at least you're both showering this person with some sort of attention. Hopefully it's welcomed attention. And having fun. And that kind of playful connection and not making things wrong and having fun with it is actually the definition of flirting.
Yeah. So maybe like he totally cockblocked me. I was going to come up and say, hi, I think you're wonderful.
Cockblocker. Hi. Hip check. But I think the important piece right here is that with your partner, are you having that conversation about when that happens? And can you find a place where it's fun or funny for the both of you so that it doesn't have to be this thing that you never talk about that becomes a sore spot? And then the third part of this would be if and when you're both interested in the same person. I think really just calling shotgun solves the whole problem.
Well, what about sharing? That can be very fun.
No. Sharing is not caring. Sharing is not caring. Actually, it is. But again,
says one of the masters of threesomes.
This is true. Sharing is caring. No, but like, can you have fun with it? And whenever there's a sore spot, like, how quickly can you talk about it? And hopefully talk about it responsibly.
Yeah. And it can feel, especially if, like, I'm usually the shyer one in my relationships. So if the person I'm with is more outgoing, I can kind of like, oh, he did it again. He, like, got there first.
You could just date people more shy than you, and that would take care of that.
It might be a very quiet date.
Well, it's quiet flirting.
I think just acknowledging that you feel that and letting your partner know where you're coming from, like, that's what I'm noticing about myself is that it's harder for me to be outgoing than you, and I can sometimes feel left behind. And I would really love it. You can make a request. I'd love it if you included me in the flirting, and I'll let you know if I don't want to flirt too.
I think that's useful. The tricky part is, and there's I'm about to open up a shitstorm in the comments section. Certainly for me as an extrovert, if I'm being penalized, like if I don't include you, I will pay for it.
That's different than a request, could you include me?
But if my answer is no, or if my answer is when I can remember, it's when somebody gets mad or upset at me for me just being me, that can be tricky. And again, it goes both ways, because it's not for the shy person or for the whomever, whatever, it's not fun on their end either, but this is where you're actually having a grown-up conversation. And this is where it is tricky for me, because if I'm the person that when everything's working well, life is just easier around me, then why am I the one who's paying for it when it's not easy? when I'm still doing the same thing, that when it does line up, everyone's better for it. That's just where it gets tricky. So, and I'm just saying, like, for people who, if you happen to be with somebody who's super extroverted, know that sometimes it feels like a burden on us too. That's all. But again, we're coming from a place where life tends to be easier because we're just naturally like, hey, who are you? Let's flirt, you know?
Yeah. I think also in the continuum where there's some couples that never flirt or play without each other, and there's people that are always without each other, you're much more on the scale of, I'm just going to be a free agent and do what I want. And there are people that are more like, oh, I'd like to do this together, and it's totally okay within their relationship.
Yeah.
So
that's why I don't date those people. I mean, look at Allison. Come on.
Yeah.
We never fight about this. But again, and now we're back to dating your species.
Yeah.
But again, this isn't just romance. This is like your friends. Mm-hmm. This can be your business, the people that you're in business with, that they're just naturally the networkers and you're not. And then you're like, this is endemic in a lot of different things. There's a great book called Quiet, which talks about shyness and introversion and how that can actually be positioned as strengths. Mm-hmm. But we don't talk about it because we're a very extroverted centric society. And again, like, I'm recognizing the privilege I have by naturally being a goofball and wanting to talk to people. And not everybody's like that.
And there are skills you can learn as an introvert that help you be more outgoing. Mm-hmm. And they can make it a lot easier. So you can just like spike your partner's punch, and so he's asleep in the corner and you get to flirt with whoever you want.
Roofing people, Cathy, is never the answer.
Oh, darn.
Wow. Leave your comments below about Cathy.
I'm really not recommending that.
Mm-hmm.